And could you ever imagine not being on a team? Like how many?
Never.
You've been on a team
Forever.
forever.
Forever. I talk about that when I do these motivational talks on leadership or whatever it may be, that the one thing that you need in your life is understanding that you're part of a team. Other than the team when you're born, you know, you're on a team with your family. That's a small team.
Yeah.
But, you know, I made my first team, I think I was 11. That's 61 years now. I've never gone through a year when I wasn't on some kind of team.
Who is the greatest alive? Simply the answer is I.
The worst part of growing up is when the season ended. And you, for a moment there, you go, well, what am I going to do now? It's like somebody just sucked
The emotion.
everything out of you.
Oh yeah.
And you go, well, you still have your family, you still have your brother or your sister. No, if I don't have my teammates, if I don't have something to go to every day, then I've got nothing really.
Yeah, when you're used to it from 1 to 4, you know, driving and pushing your team and striving, and then you get to that Tuesday and there's no practice in that block. Emotionally, physically, just bankrupt.
No. And when you go from playing to coaching and you think it hurts when you lose when you're a player, the feeling when you're a coach, it's there's nothing like winning, and there's nothing worse than losing when you're a coach, because you're responsible for all of them. When you're a player, you kind of take on your own responsibility, but at this point, the juice that you get from being there, you know, still being nervous 40 years after starting at UConn about an exhibition game that we're going to look terrible.
That's right.
That's not normal. Most guys my age, they're not getting nervous about anything, but it helps us live.
Yeah.
And we know a lot of people, I'm sure you do, we know a lot of people my age, your age, that their life is, and they look and act way older than us.
Yeah.
Because they don't hang around with 20-year-olds every day.
Oh yeah. I'll take my ticket on the roller coaster ride. That is the season all day long. You're right. The highs of winning, the big, and you know when you just
high.
want a big one.
Yeah.
And then even the lows though. The lows when people are dumping on you, and you've just had your guts ripped out, and you're down, and people are kicking you. There's an opportunity in those moments, you know, to show an incredible level of strength, prove people wrong, or, you know, show that you can turn it around and go win the next one, or, you know, come back from a bad stretch. Like some of those low moments, like in a weird way, you kind of like it because you can show people how strong you are by coming back from some brutal losses.
I had no intention of ever getting involved in this kind of business. So for me, it was an accident, and then it became what it became. But looking back on it now, I think the choices that you make when you're in high school, where you went to college, or where, you know, who you met when you were in college, and how those things shaped your life. Had you gone someplace else, would you have met, obviously, a different crowd, a different group of people, married a different person? Where would your life be now, as opposed to where it is, you know, at this point? And I always saw myself working in an environment where I had to deal with people, and I had to get the most out of them somehow, some way. And whatever that was, I don't know, you know? I think I got thrown out of the law club by my professor because he told me that I wasn't disciplined enough to grind it out every night and study to try to get into law school. And I said, you're absolutely right, damn it. You know, but I knew I'd be doing something that involved how to get people on the same page, to do something that you were going to help them do.
Something in leadership, something in leadership, something in teaching.
Yeah, something.
You know,
yeah.
Whether you'd be a principal or a CEO of you know, it's all the same, right? It's all leadership. I'm a beneficiary of Just a lot of personal work, a lot of personal development. For me, I'm just very intrigued by just all these different life hacks or ways you could kind of improve yourself, or you know, for me, right, like reading. I read a lot now. Like I didn't read when I was in high school or college, right? The only things you read when you were in school was what your teacher told you to read for class. Developed like the love of reading, and that led me down the road into like personal development, you know, just the different way, the different things you could do to improve yourself, your diet, your sleep, your exercise, meditative practices. I can't imagine myself, you know, based on my skill set and how I was raised, on doing anything, you know, anything else. And I think when I look at my life and I look at, you know, some of the struggles I went through as a player in my college career, and my path to this point as a coach hasn't been linear. You know, it's, you know, fired college coach, high school coach, low, mid Division I coach. I've had a very unique way of getting to this point that prepared me to do this type of work real well. Just my varied experiences along the way makes me real relatable to all the players, you know, the guys that are playing real well, the guys that are not playing so well. I can weather the storms of a season, of a career, because I've done it my whole life. I just think the family I was born into and the way I've been raised, it built me perfectly to do this type of work.
Maybe our backgrounds aren't so different except for the basketball part of it, but I think growing up where I grew up, I didn't necessarily hang around with people who were executives. I didn't know lawyers and doctors and CEOs. I didn't know any of those people. The only people that I knew growing up worked in factories. That's it. That's all I knew. But what I did learn growing up was how to treat people and how to understand people. I would say the number one skill you need to have, whether it's the job that we do right now or any job you want to be good at, is you need to understand how to relate to the person that you need to relate to, how to understand them and how to explain things to them and how to assess what makes them tick and what their motivations are. And that can make you successful in anything that you do. But what that would be for me, other than this, I mean, after 44, 45, 46, 47, almost 50 years of coaching, I don't know that I've ever thought about that beyond this. I never thought of it. No, I never expected to be here, so just enjoying it more now than ever before, probably. Sometimes. Sometimes.
Too late to start over.
No kidding, man, you know?
Who is the greatest alive? Simply the answer is I.